Good morning and welcome to another episode on the future of Europe. I am Julien Laurent. I will be your host today, and I have the pleasure to be accompanied with Mame TOURE, a student from the Catholic University of Lille in the Master International and European Law, and we'll be discussing the Golden Passport Scheme and its legal implication under EU law. It's a privilege to have you with us, Mom.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. So let's start with the basics. What exactly is the Golden Passport Scheme and why is it so controversial in the EU?
At its core, the Golden Passport Scheme allows wealthy non-EU individuals to gain EU citizenship or residency by making significant investment in member states. These schemes provide a shortcut to citizenship with little to no meaningful connection to the issuing states. This raises concern because under EU law, citizenship is not just a national matter. The CJEU, for example, in Rothman versus Freistaat Bayern in 2010, confirmed that EU citizenship is derivative, meaning that when a country grants nationality, it automatically confers EU-wide protection, but also rights such as free movement under Article 21 of the TFEU or diplomatic protection under Article 23 TFEU. The key issue is also that the European Commission considered that EU citizenship should reflect a genuine link between the individual and the member state granting nationality. This principle, which actually originates from the Notenbaum case, it's an international law case by the ICJ in 1955, that establishes that nationality should not be an arbitrarily legal status, but should be based on a real substantive connection to the country.
Your research looks at how different countries handle these schemes, focusing especially on Malta and Portugal. How do their approaches differ?
Malta's approach is direct and fast. From 600,000 euros to 750,000 euros, applicant can gain full EU citizenship in as little as 1 year, with minimal residency requirements. Portugal, on the other hand, ties citizenship to residency. Applicant must invest a lower amount. We have, for example, 280,000 euros and wait at least 5 years before applying for citizenship. It's not automatic, but there is a stronger emphasis on forming a real connection to the country. The distinction explains also why Portugal's model has faced less scrutiny, but also while Malta's scheme is under very much legal challenge at the CJEU.
So basically, Malta is offering a shortcut. Would it be accurate to say that Malta's schemes is legally more problematic?
Exactly. Actually, the EU criticizes Malta for essentially selling EU citizenship, which undermine the shared values of the Union. The European Commission infringement proceedings against Malta, for instance, argue that selling citizenship without requiring a genuine link to the country undermines the legal framework of EU citizenship. This aligned also with the Chebes case by the CJEU in 2019, which reaffirmed that the EU citizenship is not just a national status, but a union-wide one. The ruling suggests that member states cannot grant or withdraw nationality arbitrarily, as it affects the rights of EU states, but also EU citizens. The EU's position, if we think about it, is that citizenship should not be available for purchase, but should be based on a meaningful legal, social, and territorial connection to the country.
What specific legal arguments does the European Commission use against the Golden Passport Scheme?
The European Commission legal challenge, the Golden Passport Scheme, is actually built on key treaty provisions. We have first, for example, Article 4, Paragraph 3 of the TEU, where a member state must cooperate sincerely and uphold EU values. So according to the European Commission, when one country sells citizenship with no real connection required, it affects the entire European Union and weakens trust between member states. We also have Article 20 of the TFEU, where the Commission argues that they say that the Article 20 defines first citizenship, but also the rights that come with it. They say that since these programs allow individuals to gain full EU rights simply by paying a fee, they essentially bypass the idea that citizenship should be based on belonging and contribution.
Okay, so it sounds like the EU is taking the issue seriously. What step has it taken to try to regulate or ban these schemes?
The EU has actually taken a strong stance, especially against Malta. The European Commission launched infringement proceedings and formal warnings and even referred Malta to the European Court of Justice, arguing that Golden Passport, as I said earlier, violates Article 4, Paragraph 3 of the TEU and Article 20 of the TFEU. The European Parliament has also called for a complete phase-out of these schemes, stating that citizenship should not be for sale.
But why is it still an issue?
The challenge actually is sovereignty. Citizenship is a national matter, as we know it, so the EU cannot outright ban these schemes. Malta, for example, argues it has the sovereign right to decide who becomes a citizen. This creates a clash between the EU's values and member states' independence. It's a delicate balance. And the EU's response has been slow because it's navigating both legal and political complexities.
Yeah, so this isn't just a legal issue, it's also political.
Exactly. The EU is trying to preserve its shared principle with respect, while respecting also member state autonomy, and that's not easy to reconcile. The debate on Golden Passport scheme, if we were to boil it down, will boil down to the CJEU ruling about the infringement procedure by the Commission for Malta's action. It could also set a legal precedent reinforcing the genuine link across the European Union. If the CJEU upholds the Commission's challenge, this could actually force all member states to ensure that nationality laws reflect a real substantive connection to the country. Ultimately, this debate is about more than golden passports. It's about whether EU citizenship should be a genuine legal status based on a meaningful ties or just another product available to the highest bidder.
Well, thank you for sharing your work today with us, and I hope we'll have the pleasure to see you again.